Okay, great. So we've gone through the bracketry. So in terms of aligning this device, when it's up on its pole, can we just point it in any direction? Or does it need to point at the transmitter?
It needs to be pointed at the transmitter to the best of the installer's knowledge where that transmitter happens to be. If the desktop survey for 5G has given an indication of a compass point, then that'll be given to the installer at the time so they know a rough direction of where they've got to point it in. When the installer arrives on site, he should phone through to SimRush for installation support, and once the connection has been made, whether it be on 4G or 5G, then our engineers will be able to talk to the unit remotely and advise the engineer whether it needs to be how many degrees further left, further right, until we finally find centre, and then you can bolt it down, and that's the right direction for it to be in.
And if you're installing this yourself, the information will be in the box, I guess, so you can call up and get that information yourself as well
telephone,
to do that.
the lot's there.
So how important is getting height for this device?
Very important indeed. Line of sight is very important as far as 5G is concerned. Not so much with 4G. 4G is very well spread, and the frequencies that are used penetrate better than the frequencies that are used for 5G. So quite often you could be at a property and you might be able to get 5G outside, but you'd never get 5G inside. Hence why this product works so well, because this is outside, it's directional, it's got a large antenna, much larger than your mobile phone, and it will get a much better signal to the premises. And then the indoor controller deals with your Wi-Fi, your routing, your firewall, and that's part of the heart of the SimRush system. That two-part system that has the outdoor unit and the indoor controller.
So does it mind going through trees?
Trees aren't necessarily a problem in terms of signal. The frequency that the current carriers in the UK are using for 5G will get through a reasonable amount of foliage. But if there was, say, one end of the building and the direction to the mast has got a large tree in front of it, and then you could move to the other end of the property and get the same direction without the tree coverage, it's probably going to be better.
Okay, that's great. So we've been through a lot of things to do with the ODU and the install. Are there any other top tips that you can give anybody who's looking to install this, either for themselves or for installers who are going to take this on? What else does anybody need to think about?
Location, so like you just said, the awareness of the environment around you. If you've got your next door neighbour happens to be a big metal shed, then try and avoid having that on the line of sight, and move to another place so you can avoid it. Distance between the outdoor unit and the controller, we like to maintain that that's no further away on the Ethernet cable than 40 metres. That's because that cable's carrying not just the data but the power with it, so we don't want to extend that cable run length too far to ensure that this gets enough juice to power it. And the indoor unit will need the 48 volt power supply rather than the standard 24, as this is a 48 volt device.